Look, I didn't want to be a social outcast. If you're reading this because you think you might be one, my advice is close this book right now. Believe whatever lie your mom or dad told you about your normal, boring life, and try to live it. Being different is dangerous. It's scary. Most of the time it gets you killed in nasty, messy ways. I should know. The first sign of trouble in my life wasn't some huge monster or a booming prophecy. It was the color of my eyes, silver-flecked, like someone had sprinkled stardust into them. In a place like Ash Hollow, that kind of thing gets you noticed, and not in a good way. It was a curse, they whispered, a bad omen, and in a village already choking on bad omens, I was just one more thing to fear. The wind in Ash Hollow had a special kind of bite. It wasn't just cold, it was hungry. It howled through the skeletal remains of burned-out cottages, carrying the scent of charred wood and old sorrow. My home, or what was left of it, was a crooked little shack at the very edge of the village, where the forest's dark fingers began to creep in. From my hiding spot behind a crumbling stone wall, I watched the village square. Smoke still curled from the smoldering ruin of the baker's shop, a grim reminder from the Valthor collectors who'd visited last week. They liked leaving reminders. It was their signature move, like an artist signing a particularly grim painting. Their message was simple: pay your taxes, or watch everything you love turn to ash. I was 14, but I felt ancient. My mother, Illyra, had been gone for 6 years. She left one night with a promise whispered on the wind. "I will come back for you, Kaelin. Be strong, be clever." But 6 years is a long time for a promise to hold its warmth, especially in the freezing north of Eldrin. The villagers didn't make it any easier. They saw my silver-flecked eyes and saw my mother's strangeness reflected back at them. They saw the Valthor's fires and wondered if my curse had drawn the darkness to our door. So they shunned me. They turned their backs when I walked by, their whispers following me like my own shadow, cold and persistent. It taught me to be invisible, to melt into the ruins and listen. Surviving in Ash Hollow meant being quick and quiet. My best friend wasn't another kid. It was a simple leather sling my mother had taught me to use. I could hit a rabbit from 50 paces, a skill that kept my stomach from rumbling too loudly most nights. The stones I used were smooth and gray, gathered from the riverbed just beyond the woods. Each one felt like a tiny, solid piece of hope in my hand. My mother's voice would echo in my mind as I practiced. Aim true.